Trustee Anselmo.
Here.
Trustee Berger.
Here.
Trustee Zalek.
Here.
Trustee Fusiloni. Here. Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Severino.
Here. Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There a motion to approve the minutes of our November 17, 2025 Village Board meeting.
So moved?
Second?
Moved by Trustee McCarthy, seconded by Trustee Frizzaloni. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Guthrie.
Aye.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalek.
Aye.
Trustee Fusiloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
I'm going to switch this around for 1 second here. We have, our auditor is here, but I'm going to do this listening pulse. Robert Vakovich? Vakovich, would you take the,
Never heard.
Can you remind them there's 3 minutes?
are you new in town?
Yeah.
Thank you for all you do.
Minutes.
Well, that's what we want to talk about.
I think we've met you once or
What we've been
twice.
doing and what our house looks like lately. So, I just first want to give you a snapshot of what the Vrankoviches and all the community that's been working hard on bringing gifts over in the last, what do you say, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our dining room was first full. Then from our dining room, we've kind of moved it into the family room. We're probably about 7 feet high, maybe 13 feet by another 14 feet. Much of you have donated for Christmas sharing, and it's just been phenomenal. This year, what we did a little bit different is we added essentials for dogs and cats, because we figured, you know what? Some people have kids, and some people have their four-legged kids, right?
Something to Morgan.
Yeah, and it meant a lot to my daughter, too. My daughter's an advocate towards pets. So I'll tell you some of our numbers standing today, and as we stand right now, my phone is ringing because people are bringing more. So it's really just, what a community. Last year, we were at 2,310 our group brought in. Right now, it's total of toys and personal care products. Today, we're at 2,666.
Wow.
So we're up 356 units. And the great part about it, that's not adding the dog essentials, an additional 124. So we're sitting at 480 over what we did last year. And I'll be honest, every year we've done this, it's been going on for 10 years now. The first year, it was just some family and friends. We started with about 50, 55 toys. It all started basically because we tried to call up Toys for Tots, and they said, we're done, we don't need them. We called the village, you guys opened your hands and said, hey, we do have something, it's called Christmas sharing, and we'd love for you guys to bring them in. So because of that opportunity, here we are, probably near about 9,000 total units we've donated. You know, and again, it's not just ourselves, we're the collectors, but it's the community, it's their neighbors, it's their family, it's their friends, everyone that's kind of came together. So we just want to thank you all, because I know this is the Monday before, you know, we start working on the gifts and putting them all together this coming weekend. Would you like to say anything, hon? No, perfect. So the other thing I will bring up, and I wanted to bring up, is coming next Wednesday, because some people know I'm in a different world today than I was probably 3 years ago. I never even thought of this. That I am going to have a fundraiser coming in at Legends Pizza next Wednesday on the 10th. So that's from 5:30 to 7:30. Love for whomever can come, but I got to put the plug in because I'm going to put the plug in. All right. So that was all. Appreciate everyone, and that's the only update I wanted to say.
Thank you for everything
Rob,
that
thank
you
you.
are doing
Thank
in your
you to
family.
Thank you.
And your whole family.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to keep these up here if you guys need to, you know, advertise more. Thank you.
So something else on the list, we have a representative from the village auditing from Sickage.
Well, good evening, everyone. On behalf of Sickage, I'd like to thank the mayor and the members of the board for inviting us to present some comments on the report resulting from the audit of the village for your year ended April 30th, 2025. The annual comprehensive financial report was issued. Within that document, there's 3 sections, an introductory, a financial, and statistical section. The financial section contains all of the information required for an audit under Illinois compiled statutes. What makes it a comprehensive report then is the introductory and statistical section. The statistical section has a number of trend information tables and charts that show 10 years of information on the finances of the village. So encourage you to read that at your leisure. Within the financial section of the audit, the first page there is on Sikich letterhead. This is where we give our opinion on the financial statements, which is what you engaged us to do when you hired us to be the auditor for the village. In order for us to give an opinion on the financial statements, we're required to follow two sets of standards. The auditing standards issued by the AICPA, the American Institute for Certified Public Accountants. Those standards tell us the types of procedures we need to perform when we're conducting our audit, such as the risk assessment that we do at the beginning of the audit, which all of you are involved in, a lot of staff are involved in. That helps us get to the highest risk areas when we're doing the audit of the village. The second set of standards are the financial reporting standards, and those come from GASB, the Governmental Accounting Standards Board. GASB sets the rules for financial statements for local governments such as yourself. Once we've followed those two standards, we can issue an opinion. We're pleased to present what's called an unmodified or clean audit opinion. And what that means is that the financial statements are presented fairly in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, free of material misstatement. It's the highest level of opinion that you can receive on your financial statements. If you are following along, on that independent auditor's report, we make note of a new standard that was implemented this year related to your liability for compensated absences, accrued vacation, sick time for your employees. So GASB always is coming up with new standards. So this was the year that GASB 101 was required to be implemented. The independent auditor's report also makes reference to the audit under government auditing standards, which is another opinion that we've given on the financial statements, which begins on page 5. This applies when there's basically layers of grant reporting and expectations from both federal grants and state grants that you receive and expend. So if you're above $750,000 expended in federal grant dollars, you have a federal single audit, which is a full compliance audit, which is something you had in fiscal year 24 when you had over $800,000 in federal grant dollars. In the year that we just audited, you had about $600,000 in federal grant dollars, so you were below that level. And then you go to the next layer, which is the state of Illinois has what's called the Governmental Accountability and Transparency Act that was adopted we're probably close to 10 years now. They say if you expend more than $500,000 in state and federal funds combined, you still have to have this audit under government auditing standards. Well, what does that mean? So we issue an opinion that you complied with all laws and regulations that could have a material impact on your financial statements, unmodified opinion there, or clean opinion, and then also a clean opinion on your internal controls over financial reporting. So that's what's contained in the opinion on page 5. So one document I do want to point out to you, just after that opinion is the management discussion and analysis. This is the executive summary. It compares fiscal year 24 with fiscal year 25. It's written by the village, so that's why it's the best document in here, because you get to tell your own story. If you think of an annual report from a publicly traded company, that's what you look at for a publicly traded company to hear how they're doing their business. This tells how the village is doing its business. In my opinion, your constituents that are interested in financial reporting matters, finances of the village, they can look to this document and your annual budget document. It's really going to say the budget is what the plan was, and then what are the results based on the year after the plan was developed. It's a 15-page document in a 150-page report, so it's a pretty easy to read item. Encourage you to look at that. The financial statements themselves, that page number 14 is the results for the year, the revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances for your general fund. Revenues over expenditures of $5.2 million, and your ending fund balance of increased by $3 million to $21.8 million, well within the.
What page?
I'm sorry, page 14 of the annual comprehensive financial report. So past the section with the MD&A page numbering and then to regular page 14.
There it is.
I was watching you turn pages. I turned like 20 of them.
So revenues over expenditures, middle of the page, 5.2 million, that tells you you're structurally in balance. You can afford to provide the services you're providing with your main operating fund, with the revenue streams coming in. And then the other financing sources and uses, GASB sets aside like transfers to and from other funds. During the year, the fiscal year, that the village transferred dollars as budgeted over to its water fund. So overall, you had an increase in your fund balance of 3 million. You have a policy of a 25% fund balance mark as a percent of budgeted expenditures, so you're well within your policy. Last thing to point out to you is how are the pension funds doing? IMRF plan and the police pension fund plan. And for that information, you turn back a little ways, all the way back to page 67. 67 shows the dollars put into IMRF. 4.5% comes from employees' checks, and then the village pays in based on the percent of payroll as determined by the actuaries at IMRF. So the budgetary impact was $887,000. Facing page 68 says that you are 89.1% funded, which is in the lower right-hand corner on page 68, which goes through December 31st, 24, which is IMRF's fiscal year end. That's the overall plan, your share of the overall plan includes the library. As a municipal library, the library participates with the village. The portion of that overall liability that's recorded on your financial statements is 82.9%. The library is the 17.1%, and that's just based on an allocation of salaries, because IMRF does not provide that information separately for the village versus the library. The following page is information about the police pension fund. You have an independent actuary that tells you a dollar amount to contribute, and you've been putting in the amount required at or more than that with your additional amount that you put in fiscal year 23. See that on page 69. So that impact on the budget was 3.3 million. And so you're doing exactly what's required under both the plans in terms of the dollars that you're putting into the plan. The financial results for the, in terms of the funded status for the police pension fund, page 70 and 71, very busy, lots of numbers. The number to look at is upper right corner of page 71, which shows you're just over 70% funded, which is 11% higher than 9 years prior, if you will. So back in 2016, you were 59% funded, so you're up to 70% funded. Like I said, the village has been doing exactly what it needs to do to be fully funded for that plan. Currently, through 2040, albeit there's talks of resetting that that year to, I think, 2050, 2055, but you're in a very healthy financial position with the police pension fund. Page 73 then, page 72 is good information, 10 years of investment returns with the police pension plan, 9.51 in fiscal year 2025. Those are what I'd consider to be the highlights of the report. In conclusion, the audit went smoothly and on a timely basis. The village staff, very professional and easy to work with. Happy to answer any questions.
Just going to ask you that question too. How was John Baytek and his staff to work with?
Everyone did a fantastic job. It's a really great team effort. Correct me if I'm wrong, John, but I believe, is the report already on the village website, or is it after the board accepts? Okay, so there's good information there, but no, it went great. So really enjoy working with you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next year.
Whether you like it or not, right?
We appreciate it, I'll tell you that.
Thank you very much.
Always nice to have outside people look at what we're doing to make sure we're doing it right and doing it legally the right way.
Yes.
Correct. Thank you very much.
No questions?
Thank you.
They must all want to go home early tonight.
Joe's got a basketball game.
Sorry, Joe. There a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee McCarthy. Clerk, call a roll, please.
Trustee Guthrie.
Aye.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalek.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read what is on the consent agenda?
Certainly. Staff reports and recommendations. Receipt of the annual comprehensive financial report and auditor's communication to the Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream for the year ended April 30th, 2025.
Received.
Received?
2026 GIS Consortium Service Provider Contract. Award of a contract to MGP at a cost not to exceed $174,649 pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 5, Article 8, Section 5-8-14F of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Award of a contract to Advanced Landscaping LLC in the amount of $34,000 for tree trimming services.
Yes.
Resolutions. Resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement by and between the Village of Carroll Stream and Glenbard Township High School District Number 87, providing for a school resource officer and authorizing the development of guidelines for reciprocal reporting.
Yes.
That is Resolution Number 3444. Resolution declaring surplus designated public works equipment and authorization to dispose of the property as proposed pursuant to the provisions of Section 5-8-15 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
That is Resolution Number 3445. Resolution declaring surplus designated information technology equipment and authorization to dispose of and/or recycle through Digital Red.
Yes.
That is Resolution Number 3446. Resolution to support the Legislative Action Program of the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference for the 2026 legislative session.
Yes.
That is Resolution Number 3447. Payment of bills. Regular bills, November 18th, 2025 through December 1st, 2025.
Yes.
Addendum warrants, November 18th, 2025 through December 1st, 2025.
Yes.
Yes.
Approval of the 2026 schedule of meetings.
Yes.
And that concludes the items on the consent agenda, Mr. Mayor.
That's great.
There a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Anselmo. Clerk, call a roll, please.
Trustee Guthrie.
Aye.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalek.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
There a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Zalek. Clerk, call a roll, please.
Trustee Guthrie.
Aye.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalek.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Board officers,
Yep.
trustee Guthrie.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a busy weekend here in Carroll Stream. It was our 21st annual Brittany's Trees event, and the weather was great. It was fantastic. A little warmer than last year. Look at the positive. A little warmer than last year. We delivered and set up 1590 trees on that Saturday. We have about 60 more trees left to set up in different towns, not just in Carroll Stream, but in Glen Ellen and Lombard. I would like to give a huge shout out to all of the volunteers that had showed up. And what I like to see is, it's not just an individual showing up, a parent, they're bringing their kids, they're bringing their family. We saw Girl Scouts, we saw Boy Scouts, we saw our chief of police show up, we saw the chief of police from Glendale Heights show up. This is truly a community effort, and it doesn't happen without the volunteers that show up specifically on that Saturday. And it was just another wonderful year. A question was asked to me, well, how many trees have you set up? And I'm like, well, 1,650. They're like, no. How many of you trees have you set up since you started this? And we did our tally, and it came out to 30,000 trees that we have set up since 2005. And it did take off a couple inches off my height, and I'm a little sore. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So again, thanking all the volunteers. Thank you for the support from the community. And more importantly, thanks to a little girl who was 8 years old, who was very mature for her age, who impacted her classmates, her family, her friends, her relatives, and even neighbors. Just a shout out to her. Her spirit is still alive. And the last message I have is for the kids. If you don't think that you as kids can make an impact on people, whether you're 12 or 16 or 20 or whatever it may be, here's Brittany, who is 8 years old and has now, with her spirit and with her personality and her charisma, has rallied a community and an event to deliver more than 30,000 trees in 21 years. So shout out to Brittany.
Amen.
That concludes my report.
Thank you for what you do. Trustee Anselmo.
Thank you, Mayor. I got to echo that, Jim. Being a part of this is probably my 4th year doing it, I guess. And myself and Trustee Fruzzoloni went out, braved it this weekend. And, it starts the day after Thanksgiving. And man, at 7 a.m. or 7:30 when it's the day after Thanksgiving and all you want to do is sleep in. But then you think about what this means to not only the Brittany's family, but the community. And you kind of push yourself and you're like, all right, you know what? It's 90 minutes, and you got that down, of my morning. Once I'm done and I'm sore as heck, I did my part. And then the following day, you're still sore, but you get up and you do it again. And, myself and Mary and, the Terrios, we did, I think our first route was 25 trees.
23.
23. And then somebody said, do you want to do another route? And I know me and Mary are probably like, no, let's not.
Actually, it was Mary's suggestion.
But-
We could do maybe another 10 or 11, maybe.
As long as it was close. So yes, we did do another 10, 11 more trees. And, so the total, I think we finished for the day was 35. The snow got worse, it got chillier, but again, as we're setting all these trees, and they were big trees, so I hope everybody that got a tree is happy, because they're big and they're full and they're really green and they smell great. But they were, it was just unreal. I'm just so proud to be part of it, Jim, and just year after year, you do a great job. So thank you for what you do. Rob and Dina, Frankovich, thank you for what you guys do year after year. I'm sure much like the bags tournament, your living room and your whole house becomes not your house anymore. So what you do to make the holidays special for folks that don't have it is good. Thank you. And lastly, with Public Works, Brad, your team just knocked it out of the park yet again. And, I can't thank you enough. I was driving on the street yesterday, and I just couldn't believe how clean it was. So thank you for keeping us safe, and that ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Anselmo. Trustee Berger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to congratulate the Brittany's Trees team. Sorry I wasn't able to help this year. I was sore before you guys went out there. I had my own issues. I did get the smallest tree I've ever seen. I know you're talking about how big the trees were. Our friend Bob, who I think we all know, I have video evidence of him in my front yard, and I got a really small tree. I feel like that was planned.
Sorry to hear about that.
Got a very tiny tree. But I think I've mentioned this before, but my son, Nicholas, was in class, or was in the same class with Brittany. And I still remember him coming home and telling me about what happened. And, it's jarring as a parent, to hear that and to think all these years later, he's, well, I feel old saying this, but he's 30 and his hairline is looking more and more like mine. And to think that Brittany would be that age today, and it just makes you stop and think. And, but like, as you said, so well, it keeps her spirit alive. So I'm proud to have a tree in my front yard as small as it is. It almost got buried in our snowfall. But I'm happy to have that tree. Public Works, I gotta say it myself, great work. And a lot of good comments on Facebook. A few odd people out there, but, all good comments out there. And also, thank you I did see the inside of your house yesterday, and I felt really bad for you. Not bad enough to stay and help, but just drop the stuff off and leave. But thank you for all you do. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Berger, for that wonderful report. Maybe you
welcome.
were being punished with that little tree. Did you think about that?
It's not the
Somebody
first.
I was-
wanted to get even with you.
I was being punished with a pinched nerve already, so,
Even Charlie Brown's tree gets some love.
yeah.
Trustee Zalik?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, I want to thank the auditing firm of Sikich for coming in. Thank you for a great job. Rob and Dina, thank you very much for everything you do. Public Works did a great job, but every winter, I have to get on a soapbox where people complained, not all Facebook people, that complained about the roads not being done, and I must have counted this weekend 25 residents snow blowing snow into the street after Public Works cleans it. I don't know if they just don't realize it, but it's against the law. We have an ordinance against it. And it's unsafe for the general motoring public. You know, you think it's wet, and you come around a curve, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of snow, you can lose control. So it doesn't take much to just move the chute on your snow blower. And once the streets are clean, let's keep them clean. Let's keep our first responders, including Public Works and police and fire and the military, in our thoughts and prayers during this season. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Zalik. I'm wondering if it's the same people that blow their leaves into the street.
Probably.
After they go through, because I've seen a lot of that this fall. So thank you for pointing that out. Trustee Fruzzolani?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Jim, you know I can't say enough about Brittany Streets. It's an honor. So Jim and I were having a conversation on Saturday, because I was trying to figure out how long my family and I have been getting a Brittany Street. This is 20 years. 20 Christmases, we will have had one or two Brittany trees in front of our house. We were one of the, because we're 1 block in, well, 2 blocks in from Matthews. So before it got spread to the entire town, it was just like 6 or 8 blocks that first year. I got a flyer in the mailbox. We had just moved to Carroll Stream. Some of our neighbors had told us what had happened with Brittany. My son came home and he's like, yeah, I know that name. That kid's he's in my class. Brittany's brother. Oddly enough, I hear the last name Valine and bad words muttered out of my son's mouth to this day because they're on the same fantasy football team. So Brittany's brother Anthony and my son Anthony can beat in a Carroll Stream Fantasy Football League. So I always tell him this time of the year, be nice to Anthony. Let him win. Let him take a win. It was, even though the snow was miserable, it was pretty for the first like 2 trees.
Minutes.
After that, it was miserable. It was miserable. We felt really bad saying at lunchtime, we're kind of done. We really did feel bad about that, but we were done. Like I don't think I could have convinced trustee Anselmo to go like 10 more feet, let alone 1 more tree, although we did have the pleasure of setting up the tree for one of our counterparts. Terry, he's been on my team. This is my 13th year. So Terry Michelson is one of our police volunteers. So Terry's been he's been part of our group for 13 years. And he said, if my tree hasn't been set up, can we set up my tree as the last tree? And we did. And last year he got the smallest tree. This year he got the tallest tree of all of them. So his tree is beautiful. And the other thing that I was telling Jim is Brittany's tree has come full circle. So in 20 years, you've got that next generation. So you talk about Brittany's 30 years old. My son is slightly older than Brittany, and this year, my son has a Brittany's tree in front of his house. So that was nice to be able to go over, after we set up all of the Brittany's trees, to go over to his house and light up his Brittany's tree for him. So great job to everyone, and thank you for what you do. The Rankovics, I love you guys. You guys know I absolutely positively love that you do this, that you open your house. And when me and my motley crew showed up on your doorstep on Sunday evening with box after box. It was really cool to see your faces, because normally I bring in 10,000 bags, but this year I'm like, let me try boxes, and we still had, I don't know, 7 boxes, 8 boxes, something like that. So last year I challenged my family, my immediate family, my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, nephew, and then my kids. We're going to fill the Rankovic's staircase more than once. And my family has jumped in wholeheartedly. So I just want to say a very heartfelt thank you to my family, especially my boys, because they get it. They just get it. So I just want to say thank you to my family for supporting Christmas sharing and loving Carol Stream as much as I do. Last thing I just want to mention, great job to Public Works. Saturday was a challenge. We were out on Matthew Lane before 7:30, and they had already come and salted, which was great. We know it was a challenge, a huge logistics challenge to try and get plows down that street and around town. But when I say you can tell when you're back in Carol Stream, you can tell when you're back in Carol Stream. Took me 45 minutes to drive, a 13-minute drive to Wheaton, white-knuckled all the way until I got back to Coon and went, I'm home. That's just how great the road was in comparison to all the county roads and the streets in Wheaton, and I don't even want to talk about North Avenue and how dangerous it was at 3 o'clock on Saturday. So great job to the guys. Hopefully they will get some rest, some much-deserved rest. So with that, I will end my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, trustee Frizzalani. Trustee McCarthy.
Jim, the Brittany's committee, you guys are awesome, the whole committee. I know it's not just you, and it's not just Valine, and it's, you know, you've got a group who knows what they're doing, and they get it done, and it's an absolute honor to be a part of it. You know, we love being on there, I love being on there on Friday, and then our team, we actually enjoyed the snow, by the way. We weren't miserable, we had a blast. But to each their own. Yeah, that's all good. But thank you for what you guys do, and it's just another great community event. So, well done. Rob and Dina, you guys are awesome. Every year, you find a way to add some more to the Christmas sharing program, and that's so important when you've got 200-plus families and over 400 children who might have nothing. And it's you and everybody on this list. Are we going to post this on our website? We could? Yeah, just to show everybody, people who jump in and help, it's amazing. And I want to thank every single person who's done anything for it, because it's important to take care of those who need it the most. So thank you very much. Police and Public Works, you guys were out during the snow, and you had to deal with all of us Brittany's Trees teams too, which I bet was a challenge. But Public Works, you guys rocked it. Yeah, it was messy and it was sloppy, but that's because it kept snowing. As soon as it slowed down even a little bit, all of a sudden the streets were getting clear. And our subcontractors, I thought they did a really good job in the cul-de-sacs and side streets. By sometime Sunday, it was just pavement. So they also did a good job. But everybody, holidays are here, and just keep thinking of the people who might not have much to celebrate or don't have anything, and if you have something extra, find a way to share it. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, trustee McCarthy. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I too want to thank trustee Guthrie and your whole team of volunteers, including all of you up here who deliver such a great program. Our tree is beautiful this year. I'm sorry, trustee Berger, we got a beautiful tree. It's nice and tall and full. Love it. And also, thank you to the Vrankovich family for all you do with Christmas sharing. That's an incredible program. And no, it's just nice to know that we have people that come together to help less fortunate to have a good Christmas. So thanks for that. And thanks to our social services team. Those guys do a wonderful job taking care of our folks in Carol Stream. Also, kudos to Public Works, Director Fink. You guys just do an amazing job. And other than that, just want to say, especially around the holidays, shop and dine Carol Stream.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only thing I have is just a shout out to Jim and his team and everybody that participates in Brittany's Trees. What a great job everybody does. And to Trustee Berger, you just ended up getting Charlie Brown's Christmas tree this year, so you should be thankful for that.
Yes.
And that ends my report.
That's it?
That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Omar, Village Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will be brief. I want to say thank you to our social services unit and all of the collectors, like the Vrankovich family, who have helped prepare for Christmas sharing this year on December 10th. I think it's going to be a great turnout. As we learned today, over 200 families signed up with over 400 children to receive food and gifts this year. So I think it'll be a great event. So thank you. Reminder for everybody to join us on December 5th at 6 p.m. at Town Center for the ceremonial lighting of the Christmas tree. Staff has done a great job this year getting the park ready, and it's sure to be a great event. Looking forward to it. And finally, I also want to give a nod to the Public Works staff for keeping up with what was a unique event Saturday, 8 inches of snowfall over the weekend. They did a great job. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Rob, to you and your family, thank you. I know you play a big part in bringing toys in, as some other people do, but you've made it a dedication to your family for many years, and we appreciate it. I will do everything I could to be at your fundraiser next Wednesday. You deserve that. Guthrie, I can't tell you, I love you. You are what this village is about. That's what happens when something bad happens, you rise up to the occasion, and everybody jumps in to help. Thank you for what you do. Matt McCarthy, another home run on the bags program. What is the new one?
Well, our Stock the Pantries raffle that we got going on.
You didn't say nothing about it.
I didn't.
You're trying to sell tickets. Come on, you want to raise money? Stock the pantries?
$20 a ticket. You can just Zelle me or reach out to me, and your name goes on a ticket and it goes in the bin. There's 7 prizes, including golf with the mayor. You and 2 of your friends can golf with the mayor and have lunch. There's 3 $250 gift cash prizes. One's from me, one's from DuPage County District 6, Jim Zay, and the third one is from Papa Don Sutenbach from Evergreen School District. And Jeremy from JT's is doing a 65-inch TV delivered to your door. And Legends Pizza is doing a Legends gift card, which is where we'll have the live drawing, the 19th of December at 5:30. So it's just something, it's a way to get some more food to the food pantries. When we go to restaurants or you go to the stores and you see the amount of waste, it's disheartening, and nobody should be hungry, period. It's not a political thing. Nobody should be hungry. So if you have time, reach out to me or reach out to Frank or anybody else. Anybody else up here will get you in touch with me. And we're trying to see how much we can raise. Giving Tuesdays tomorrow, and there might be on my social media, there might be a little way to make our amount go up. So far, we sold $4,800 in tickets. Might double tomorrow. Just saying. Thank you.
Saying, he knows. See, the thing is, in this village, we are so lucky to have people come up with an idea, and all at once, everybody jumps in to figure out a way to make it better. We kind of like feed off of each other and support each other, and that's what makes us different. This is a community of people taking care of people. And to me, that's been the way I've lived here 49 years, and I've never seen it any other way. The people, a lot of them that are gone were the same way, and you hear stories about whose kids went to school with each other. They still remember that. That's what we're about. And I try to explain that to other mayors when they say, how do you do this? How do you do this? I mean, I'm lucky. I sit here as the mayor. I got the best trustees in the world. I got the best staff, not because they're sitting there, but I am surrounded. We are all surrounded with the best talent that there could be. And that's important. That's why this village is run this way. I mean, the police department, public works, community development, IT. I mean, you could just keep going and going. I'm not bragging about what we do. It's a fact is what we do. And I hear it all the time from other mayors, and that makes me very proud. I feel like the father of the family, and it's like, and that's important to have that feeling, and that's what I try to project. I say to everybody, this is my extended family. This is, to me, is important. And I've been criticized by a few people said, you told them before you told me? Well, I look at everybody up here, not just saying it. We're close. We're here for a reason. We work close together. So again, Public Works, thank you for the job you did over the weekend. Again, terrible snowstorm, quick, bad, thank you, good. Police Department, I can't say enough. you know, usually first responders, you guys are out there, you're sliding around and making sure everything goes good. I heard a story about something in Addison where they actually took a plow and put it with the fire trucks because they wanted to make sure it was so bad there that the plow truck was there with the fire trucks just to make sure ambulances, when they went on calls. I never heard that done before. My son-in-law is a lieutenant there in the fire department and said they thought it was great that they worked that close together. People don't realize in this community how close the police and fire department work and public works with the fire department, how we all work together. We don't put that in writing where everybody's working together, but you hear from another town, it was a big deal. We do things like, not like that, but close to that all the time. So again, thank you for everybody. So the Christmas tree lighting is this coming Friday. This should be very interesting. I want to thank everybody that had a lot to do with it, and I know Chris and the staff, the new boxes with they look like gift boxes at both ends of the entrances. All the lighting down the street was snowflake lighting. I am very proud of what that town center is. It was put there with the intent to be a gathering place, and you just make it better every year. And I want to thank you for that. The Christmas tree looks beautiful. I was going to sneak out there and try and light it up the other night, but I wouldn't do that. Just wanted to see what it looked like before we throw the switch, which we have someone special to throw the switch this year. Going to throw the handle with Santa Claus. That was something. Again, what do we do in this community? That's a perfect example.
Yes, it is.
So I'm not sure, Mr. Village Manager, how much work do we have for the next board meeting? Because I was going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas if we, in case we don't have a lot to do.
Well, I suspect the agenda will be a little bit light, but we do have a meeting ahead of the board meeting as well.
Okay, well, then, I just wanted to make sure, because then I won't wish anybody Merry Christmas
you don't
until.
get a double wish.
Until the next meeting. Okay, thank you. Their motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Frizzaloni. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Guthrie.
Aye.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.